wrote about it in Just a Geek, and it's in Dancing Barefoot too. Rather than recount the entire story, I will encourage you to buy my book. The story is, it was really close. It was a little bit larger in areas just to accommodate more people. Like the graphics were all correct, and the fundamental dimensions were accurate. I recommend the audio version of Just a Geek, because then I get to tell you the story.
Great.
Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts or concerns about the state of science education in the public schools today?
I think it's an absolute travesty that there is a popular movement in America. We seem to be alone in the world in this way, sort of making science something that is something that, like, we should doubt science. And being smart is, well, then you're an elitist, and that's not a good thing. And it concerns me greatly. The rest of the world is going to pass us, and we're going to be sort of, picking up trash behind China and India, and wondering why why smart people don't want to work in America anymore. And it is one of the reasons that I absolutely despise the modern, conservative movement, because it's not about conserving anything. Well, it's kind of appalling to me that we spend more on tax breaks for multimillionaires than we do on NASA.
And Will,
a heck of a job, you guys.
Well, if it goes to hell, if it all goes to hell, I have a lot of hookups in China. Just saying.
And in Jordan, apparently. And Jordan.
Next question.
First of all, sir, I'd like to say that you will look a lot more like what I expect to look like when I grow up than what Commander Riker came up with when he was Q.
I know, right? Commander Riker gets the Q powers, and then he's like, Wesley, I'm going to give you your greatest wish. And Wesley's like, all right, Counselor Troy, let's go. and then Riker's like, here, I'm going to turn you into a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, barrel-chested dreamboat. And Wesley's like, what the fuck? I think that has less with it being Wesley's fondest wish, and more to it having to do with it being the costume designer's fondest wish.
Well, speaking of costumes, you asked me whether or not this was the most uncomfortable thing I ever wore. Truth is, when I made my first mock-up, it was.
Yeah.
So I fixed it.
But it's not authentic.
Sorry. I have to walk around in it all day, and I don't have a fleece to. Then no one would know what I was,
right.
Except for maybe you.
Right.
So why was it so uncomfortable? What exactly was so uncomfortable about it? Was the rainbow sweater better or worse? And did it finally get better when you got your own Starfleet uniform?
Oh man, getting my own Starfleet uniform was the greatest thing ever. It was really awesome. I've written about this in books before. There are times, Star Trek was a great experience for me, and there were times when it was the greatest thing in the world, and there were times where I just wanted to go home, and there were times where I was like, well, great, now I've missed the first period of the hockey game. I really wish we would shoot this scene on the bridge so I can go and watch the rest of it, because at the end of the day, it was my job. But I think of everyone, I like to pretend. I mean, I love that. I love that our job is to make believe. Like, every day I go to work, I look forward to work every single day because I get to pretend to do something cool. When I got to put on a real Star Trek uniform, and I got to sit down and do the actual, Picard maneuver club. It was such a great experience for me. I was so excited about that. And I had the same level of excitement when I first put on we call it Wesley's Gay Pride Rainbow sweatshirt. Because it got me out of the sweaters that I hated so much. They were ugly. It was 1989. I was like, why don't they have neon pink gotcha sweaters in the future? And acid washed pants. Come on. Why doesn't Wesley wear 11 swatches? Because it's cool. Listen, kids, I'm gonna do you a favor, okay? Listen to Old Man Wheaton for a minute.